we have a couple topics, actually just mainly one topic. I'm getting ready to go out and continue celebrating my birthday week. Going to the Rainbow Bar and Grill. I feel like I have to make that as a tradition because it's the Rainbow Bar and Grill. So yeah, I already went to Disneyland the day of my birthday, so that was great. Had a nice dinner at the Cheesecake Factory. While they were singing happy birthday to me, apparently somebody got pulled out by a stretcher, and I asked my friend who saw everything, my two friends, I asked them, how come you guys didn't stop and like, you know, let us know that that was happening? And like my friend Bree was like looking at my friend Lacona, and she was like, yeah, I was looking at her. I was like, should we say something? And then Bree was like, no, celebration of life. I was like, it's a little dark in my room, it's cloudy, you know, I work with real lighting. So anyways, let's talk about what's going on right now in some news while I get ready to go out. I don't know what I'm gonna use. I might work through both, but I feel like this one's more convenient because I don't really want a colorful look today. So we're just going to use Black Veil Brides today. So let's just talk about Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. Apparently they were on tour for their Poison Ascendancy tour. And apparently they're just going to end it with the North American tour. I know they were supposed to go to like Mexico, all of South America, Latin America, and I think even go back to Japan. I don't know if they started in Japan and then they were going to end in Japan, but I heard Japan twice in there. But I know it was a lead singer from Bullet for My Valentine, Matt, that pulled out. He wanted to end the tour a little bit early. No reason knowing why. But the Trivium bassist, Paul, I believe his name is, I believe. He is the one who said it in a podcast, saying that he was the one who pulled out Matt. That is, didn't give really any reasons why. They just said that, you know, he pulled out and that's it. And but the tour is still gonna go on. I think it's just gonna be without Bullet with My Valentine. I mean, they could easily get another band, to tell you the truth, especially someone from Latin America. You know, just get someone from Latin America that could represent. I mean, I get it, they're not gonna be as big or anything, but still, you know, do it. Just do that. You know, the show must go on. I get it was because it's supposed to be both of their, like, you know, really good albums that came out, like, what, they came out like 2008 or something like that. Well, I don't know, I can't remember when those albums came out, but it was like, you know, pull harder, strings smarter and all that. Of course I remember all that. So I get it, it was supposed to be revolved around those albums, but you know, like I said, the show must go on. Now let's talk about like crazy fucking Rockstar wives right now. I don't know what is going on in the world right now. I got my notes for this because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up all that what I found out, okay? Oh my god, reading notes and doing my makeup is not exactly the easiest. Okay. So the wife of Weezer's bassist, Jillian Schreiner, we're just going to call her Jill, okay? We're just going to call her Jill. Apparently, okay, so what happened was, I believe it was around April 8th. Yes, it was April 8th. It was right before the Coachella weekend. Trust me, we don't like... If you're a true Californian, you, especially from SoCal, you fucking hate Coachella. You hate that time of the year for sure. So it was like, you know, the weekend of. So basically on April 8th, LAPD, there was a hit and run basically, right? So LAPD was helping Highway Patrol in search of, like, you know, who had like run off or whatever. And it was over there in Eagle Rock, you know, not far from the freeway from there on Figueroa. So, and that's just where, you know, Jill happens to live and whatever, and with her husband, right? So that's just where she happens to live. And, you know, the LAPD were going through backyards because they had heard through some of the people that live there that they saw people running basically through their backyards. So that's why they kind of had like the permission to run through the backyards and everything, right? So then they look over a fence and it was Jillian's house, and she came out with a fucking gun. Like, okay, bitch, why you came out? First of all, like, why? If I was running for something, I would not be coming. Let me continue. Anyways, they yell at her basically, you know, to put the gun down. She doesn't. She shoots. They shoot twice at her, hit her in the shoulder. Bitch deserved it. I mean, you came out with a gun arm is video footage, because they had, not only did they have body cams, the cops, but she also had, you know, security cameras. They took the security cameras, obviously. They caught everything. They caught everything. So they rushed her to the hospital because, you know, she got shot, and when they rushed her to the hospital, she posted bail there, $1 million bail bond, right? So she posted that, therefore she never got sent to jail. And so there are deadlines of the arrest, and like, you know, you get extended when you're not in jail. Unlike when you're in jail, it's like 3 days. I know it's like fucking weird. Who would have thought, right? I've never been there, don't want to be there. My brothers have. So she appeared in court in like 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of really useless. They didn't even like charge her of anything until the 13th, I believe, until May 13th. They just basically told her, here's your next court date. And then on May 13th, basically she just pleaded not guilty to the charges. Willful discharge of a firearm in a grossly negligent manner, and assault with a firearm. And then she has another court date in June. I was like, wow. Must be nice to get away with shit. I'm just like, I'm sorry, but you don't know how that makes me mad. Because look how many people who are not white are getting shot. Yeah, no, and I get, you're like, Jack, she got shot. No, but they make sure that person gets shot to death. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not going to touch much on it. This is not a political channel, you know, this is not, but have another court date. Okay, anyways, let's talk about, oh God, when I mean these Rockstar wives are gone crazy. Oh my God, I can't even say that shit right. Tell me why Tommy Lee's wife just got catfished. Okay, so let me explain what happened. They announced a divorce not too long ago. They said it's because of his drinking. I didn't even know this guy stopped drinking. I was like, I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't really feel bad for someone, especially seeing women in my family getting in situations like this. It's like, I can't really feel bad for you if you already knew how that person was. Okay, like I can't feel bad for that. So Tommy Lee is married to Brittany. Basically, she's like a comedian. I didn't know that. I know she has like a podcast and a lot of Botox. It's just, and then it's funny because Tommy, I saw him, I almost thought he was a woman. I was like, oh my God, did you get Botox? No, he's just bloated from all the alcohol. Basically, she had announced that, you know, it was because of his alcoholism. It got really bad, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Well, that's probably one reason, but nope. I'm not saying that wasn't one of the reasons why she did this stupid shit that's coming up next. But basically, she got catfished on Snapchat. She was talking, who she thought was, I should say, she thought she was talking to Ronnie Radkin. I can't even say that shit straight. She thought she was talking to Ronnie Radkin from Falling in Reverse. Yeah, you know, the one that they all say that he's literally Bill Cosby or rock and roll. Yeah, that guy. So basically what happened was she thought she was talking to him on Snapchat. I'm going to put all the receipts right here, by the way, like the text messages going back and forth and everything. But she thought she was talking to him, and she even would go into the DMs in Instagram with Ronnie's account, his real account. And you know, and you could even tell how there was confusion when they would be talking or whatever. And okay, for all y'all that know Ronnie Radke real well, is Hawthorne, California, where he has his house in? That way I could go throw shit at it, because I'm just like, well, isn't Brittany living in California? So that's the only Hawthorne I know, because that's where I'm from. So I'm just wondering if it's the same Hawthorne. But basically, this catfish person, we're just gonna call him Catfish, basically told, you know, Brittany, hey, come meet up with me over here. Mind you, she's married, okay? Honestly, I could give a fuck if she was cheating on Tommy, to tell you the truth. That doesn't really make me mad. It makes me more mad that, you know, regardless, I know Ronnie wasn't cheating, but the fact that you knew he had a woman at that time, that's what makes me more mad. I could give a fuck if she was cheating on Tommy, because Tommy deserves to get cheated on after all the shit he's done. You know, if you done it, you gotta expect that it's gonna be returned back. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm not feeling bad for that situation at all. It's just, you know, she got, the catfisher basically was like, okay, come and meet me in my house in Hawthorne. And she sends a DM in Instagram telling Ronnie like, hey, I'm outside your house, and he's like, what the fuck? And I think at that time he was still with that WWE chick, Paige, whatever her name is. I don't know her real name. I don't really care. She wasn't one of my favorites. It was just all so hilarious. And then Ronnie's like, you know, what the fuck? And then he's like investigating in this because, and then eventually he finds out that, yeah, there's someone catfishing at him, and he thinks it's this account, and they get into it, and then Tommy finds out, and they get into it. The only reason why Ronnie even said anything, one, he likes drama, first of all. We all know that. I mean, he bullies people. He physically abuses people. So I wasn't surprised. He said, I'm just still wondering why any woman would want to be with this man. But he basically, you know, gave the receipts, even the one between Tommy and him arguing that, you know, that wasn't him talking to Brittany at all. That was some other guy pretending to be him, and it was this big old bitch fest. It was great. And then an update did come up like today. Basically, she was trying to say that no, Ronnie's the one obsessed with me, because then I guess like one of her friends was trying to get her. I didn't know she was a comedian, because she's not. I mean, her life is funny, but apparently was trying to get her to come one of the shows, or he wanted to go to one of the shows, and she was like, no, he's gonna like roast me. And I'm like, whatever, right? So like there was very few receipts that she had that proved that she was right, unlike what Ronnie had. You know, so that's just the thing. I'm just like, so here's the situation though, because I know a lot of people are on her side, mainly women. Look, y'all know I'm a girl's girl, and I try to be a girl's girl, even though bitches be stabbing me over a fucking man any day. You know, I try to be, you know, honorable and be a girl's girl. Why are you defending a bitch who knew that this man was with somebody else? I mean, again, you want to cheat, whatever. Just make sure there's not somebody else involved that's innocent. You know what I mean? If you're going to cheat on your significant other, fine. Whatever. Or whatever you have, or you just don't know. But make sure that other person that you're dealing with is not with someone else. That's what gets me more mad. Like, I don't understand how we're supporting her, and she just needs to come out and own it. Like, look, because she doesn't want to own it. Like, you could tell she doesn't want to. It's just be like, hey, I understand Tommy Lee is not an easy man to be married to. Do we all know that? And I understand he's not an easy person in general. She just needs to come out and be like, yeah, this happened to me. Look, you're a comedian. You could put this in your fucking act or something, whatever. Look what Chris Rock did with the whole bitch slap of, you know, of Will Smith and all that. One of the best performances he ever did on in his comedy show on Netflix, right? Just do something like that, woman. Be smart. Come on. And now it's just being really double standard now, you know. It's like, you know, you're gonna defend her when she was kind of just doing the same thing as Tommy. But then again, like, Tommy, that's what he gets too. It's like, first of all, you're dating someone who's only like a year and a half older than me. They're gonna cheat on you. Like, they're just, oh wow, that looks scary. It looks scary right there, goddamn. But, you know, you want them younger, you know, which I understand, because I date guys 10 years younger than me, I'm not gonna lie. But there are consequences with that too, and there is also when you're dating older too, even your age. But there is a huge difference, you know, Shannon Sharp. When you're dating someone who barely turned 18, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But it's to the point where it's like, I can't feel bad for you. And this man is dating, you know, someone who's like my age, and they've been together for almost 6 years. Of course she's going to be wanted to be with, I really felt like she's dating him, which is fine for the reason, because like that's like not that she needed to date Tommy for this, but it's like, I really did feel like that was an open opportunity for her to be with other rock stars, which you go, girl, because, you know, it's not like these rock stars weren't doing, you know, fucked up shit, you know. So I'm not gonna like sit here and like, no, I'm not gonna use this foundation. I'm not gonna sit here and like, you know, defend Tommy either. But at the same time, I just never would have thought in my life I would significantly see Tommy in a better light than Ronnie Radke. Well, first of all, if for some reason the universe was like, hey, there's only 2 men left in the world, and we decided to give them to you, but you have to choose which one, Ronnie or Tommy, I would rather just fuck myself, to tell you the truth. But it'd be really like, if I had a gun to my head or something, I'd be like, oh, Tommy. But I never would have thought in my life that I would fucking choose that man over anyone. Like, or any of those guys. Moral of the story, people, do better. Just do fucking better, please. Anyways, that's the news. We got people getting catfish. And one more piece of news that's been going on. I was supposed to report this like maybe 2 weeks ago, but then I didn't like the footage, so I was like, fuck it, let me just talk about it now. Let's talk about Ken Carson's. I just know he's part of like the new bullshit of R&B or rap or whatever it is, right? Basically, he stole artwork, I guess, off of, I believe it was Mayhem and Morbid Angel. I'll put it, no, not Mayhem, it was Horna and Morbid Angel. I'll put like the images around here somewhere. So basically it looks identical, and you know, this shit has been going on in our community for a while, and it's getting, I would have thought it died down now. It's been like this for almost like 7 or 8 years now. And I'm just like, okay, why is it not dead? Like, I don't understand why this is still going on. So, you know, I'm just as, you know, furious as everyone else. This is why we find it insulting if you are coming in from another world, especially if you're like a co-worker of mine who probably found my videos or whatever. Hi, what's up? Let me explain to you why we're mad. Not that you're going to understand, because I notice mainstream people, especially in the hip-hop world, they don't want to understand, and they just like, oh, your guys are just mad because we made it look better. Like, no, you're stealing artwork, stupid. Like, you're stealing work that somebody else has done and didn't even ask for permission. That's why we're here. And the thing is, whether it be alternative community, goth community, whatever it is, the rock and roll community has always been made to look like a fucking joke, especially from these really big, powerful record companies, because they know how to look what they did to glam rock. I need blush. It's just that, you know, you come in, you steal or try to dress like us or whatever, and get tattoos, which of a pentagram. Of a fucking pentagram, when you're over here saying I'm God-fearing and stuff like that. Now, I don't know which pentagram he has, whether it be inverted or whatever. There's going to be 2 different meanings, but I don't expect him to know what those meanings are. It's just the fact that they mock us. That's what they do. They mock it, they make their money off of it, and they think it's funny. Look at what Kanye was over there calling himself a fucking rock star. Like, what the hell? And look what he turned into, a fucking Nazi. A fucking Nazi. And that's who they fucking go for. Okay, stop, I look fucking funny as fuck. So that's basically what pissed off a lot of people. And I know I made like a quick little video on it. I have posted it up not too long ago. But that's what pisses us off. Just stay, oh, and not only that, remember when fucking like Takei and Horna and I forgot who else, they were all coming out over here to the States like around 2017 and 2018, and these venues were canceling on them because you know why? Because people like Ken Carson and in that form of music, they didn't want them coming over here, these black metal bands or death metal bands, because they thought they were racist. And that's fine. Look, I'm not going to say every music genre is in the clear here, because look at Drake. So yeah, and so it's like, shut up, don't just be pointing the fingers at us. But if you really truly believe somebody's fucking racist or whatever it is, why are you stealing their style? Why? That's what I want to fucking know. I wouldn't even be doing that shit, to tell you the truth. So if you really truly feel like this music is evil and all that stuff, then don't be fucking mocking us. Then don't be fucking wearing our style. Don't be wearing these band t-shirts with the fake tours on them. Just fucking cut it out. So that's what makes me mad. That's what makes me mad with this whole story. And the fact that we're still doing this, and the fact I still gotta talk about this 6 or 7 years later, because I made one of the band t-shirt trend, and look where we're at now, stealing artwork. Lady Gaga did the same thing to Mayhem, and everybody's gonna be like, well, she likes listening to that type of music. I don't know if she likes listening to Mayhem. I know she likes using Metallica as like their backup, as her backup singers. If you haven't seen that the Grammys, you know, go check it out. Oh god. Oh, let that dry. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about, especially the what's her name, the Jillian one, the Weezer's bassist wife. I really want to know what you guys think on that one. You just literally just went to court just to find out another court date, and that's which I get it, is usually how it is, but like they didn't even give you the charges yet because there was like supposedly not enough evidence or. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. So here's me